it's the last episode of my only 12%. My goodness, do I feel like it's been a journey. It's been about 15 minutes since I finished episode 13. I just kind of took a break and scrolled on Twitter for a bit. I don't know. But I'm gonna be brave. I'm going into it. This is the last episode. No, I can do this. Kate was looking over at you. Some top tier fucking acting though. I'm good. I'm good.
Mà mẹจะได้ยินเราไหมมาจะเห็นเราอยู่เปล่าอะเห็นสิมาไม่ทิ้งเราไปไหนหรอกมายังอยู่กับอิ๋วอยู่กับเฮียอยู่กับเจ๊มาไม่ไปไหนหรอกนะเรายังคิดถึงมาอีกเหรออิ๋วฟังเฮียนะมาไม่มีทางหนีไปไหนแน่นอนจริงเฮียกับเจ๊อย่าไปไหนไกลนะอย่าทิ้งอิ๋วไปอีกคนนะอยู่ด้วยกันนานๆนะอิ๋วไม่อยากเสียใครไปอีกแล้วอะเจ๊กับเฮียไม่ไปไหนหรอกจะอยู่กับอิ๋วจะดูแลอิ๋วจะเป็นบ้านให้อิ๋วนะอย่างนี้นะทุกอย่างจะผ่านไปนะอิ๋วเราสามคนจะโอเคนะอิ๋วเชื่อเฮียไม่เป็นไรหรอกเราอยู่กันได้
Sorry. I'm good. I'm good. You don't have to see any of that. I'm gonna cut it. I paused it so that I could cut it. I don't want to just be sobbing on screen all the time. was rough. I knew it. I knew it. As soon as Pal cried, I knew it. That would be the end of me, no? Oh man.
มาแล้วไม่สบายนะมาไม่ต้องห่วงพวกเรานะมาไม่ต้องห่วงนะมาจะดูแลน้องๆเอง
มาไม่ต้องห่วงนะครับผมจะดูแลทุกคน
เอาทิ้งมาไปนะมาตายก็เพราะเขาไม่ใช่หรอถ้าเขาไม่ไปสูบบุหรี่มาคงไม่ตายหรอกเฮีย
It's just not what I thought the last 2 episodes were gonna be like.
แต่ยังไงเขาเป็นป้าเรานะ
ป้าอะไรไอ้เฮียป้าที่ไม่เคยกลับมาหาเราเลยเหรอเฮียยังเรียกว่าป้าอยู่ใช่ปะ
เค้กเดี๋ยวเค้กพาอิวกลับบ้านก่อนนะเฮียจัดการธุระพวกพี่กับเจต่อกลับบ้านเค้กกันเนาะ
เจอกันที่บ้านในอิวพักเลย
I love Pal.
เฮียรีบตามกลับไป
He's such a good brother.
มาคงปวดมากอะมาคงไอจนทนไม่ไหวอะมารู้ตั้งนานแล้วอะแต่มาไม่เคยบอกเราเลยอะตอนอิวป่วยอะมายังมาดูแลอิวเลย แล้วทำไมตอนมาป่วยอิวไม่รู้อะไรเลยอะทำไมอิวปล่อยให้มาสู้อยู่คนเดียวอะ
อะไรนะไม่ต้องลำบากนะไม่ต้องเจ็บนะ
ไปพักผ่อนเนาะไปไม่เอาไม่ลองเนาะ
เค้กตามเฮียเฮียฝากอิวเลยนะครับไม่ต้องเป็นห่วงผมดูแลอิวเองแล้วเรื่องปลาเราคิดเหมือนอิวไหมผมก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกันครับ
So much stress, man. So much stress.
ก็เป็นต้นเหตุที่ทำให้ม้าเป็นอย่างนี้แต่เฮียว่าโกรธไปมันก็คงไม่มีประโยชน์อะไรเพราะตอนนี้ม้าเองก็ไม่อยู่ที่นี่แล้วด้วยป๋าก็ยังเป็นป๋า
Please don't do
เป็นป๋า
this.
ของเฮียของเจ๊แล้วก็ของอิ๋วเข้าใจครับเฮียไม่ได้คาดหวังให้อิ๋วคุยกับป้าเหมือนปกตินะและเฮียเองก็ไม่ได้คาดหวังให้อิ๋วคิดว่าเป็นครอบครัวเหมือนเดิมเฮียแค่ไม่อยากให้อิ๋วจมอยู่ความโกรธแล้วก็ความเกลียดถ้าม้ารู้อะม้าคงไม่พอใจที่เป็นแบบนี้ยังไงผมจะพยายามคุยกับอิ๋วอีกแรงครับเฮียก็ฝากเค้กดูแลอิ๋วด้วยนะเฮียกับเจ๊ก็กล่อมไปหมดแล้วอะถ้าไม่ใช่เค้กเฮียก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกันว่าใครจะช่วยได้ผมจะพยายามครับเฮียขอบคุณนะที่รักอิ๋วผมจะดูแลอิ๋วให้ดีที่สุดครับสัญญาเลยไปคุยกับป้าบ้างแบบดีๆไม่จากกันด้วยความรู้สึกแย่ๆเลยนะ
อิวไปแล้วนะ
อิ๋ว
I feel emotionally drained right now.
ขอให้ป้าเลิกวันเกิดอิ๋ว
Hello. Oh, Meta. Dad came upstairs. and I had like 5 seconds to make it look like I had not been crying because of what I've told you guys about crying being bad in this house. So he would have been really worried and tried to get me to stop watching the show and stuff like that. But my cat has been here because she's been picking up on my anxiety. She's down beside me right now. But when my dad came up, she was trying to get his attention. I don't know if she was trying to tell him something was wrong or what, but my cat is very antisocial, so she normally doesn't really like other people in the family very much, and she just likes to be around me. But she went up to him and she was meowing so loudly. I was like, cat, shut up, please. He was like, what's wrong? I was like, God, no. The cat's gonna give me away. I think I did okay though. I don't think he could tell that I was crying, so it's fine. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Okay. We've got 2 more parts. It's gotta stop making me upsetty at some point though. We've been dealing with a lot this episode, I'm not gonna lie. It's been awful. I'm a wreck. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it and hope that I don't cry.
อิวก็ขอให้ป๊าอยู่สูงทั้งบอกรักทั้งเป็นห่วง
I love the way Cake is cuddling him right now.
อิวทำทุกวิธีแล้วอะก็กลัวป๊าจะเป็นอะไรไปเคก็รู้บุหรี่อันตรายจะตายไปแต่ป๊าก็ทำให้ไม่ได้อะอิวคอยบอกทุกคนตลอดเลยนะว่าให้อยู่ห่างๆเวลาป๊าสูบบุหรี่แต่อิวไม่รู้เลยว่ามันยังมีละอองบุหรี่มือ3อยู่อะถ้าอิวฉลาดกว่านี้ป๊าคงไม่เป็นไรใช่ไหม
มันไม่ใช่ความผิดของอิวนะ มันอิวไปสบายแล้ว
There's something really beautiful about the way he's just cuddling him and stroking his hair and quietly listening to him.
นี่เปากับเจ๊ของก็เจ็บ แล้วถ้ามารู้คิดว่ามาจะเจ็บไหมอย่าโทษตัวเองนะ
อิวขอโทษแต่หลายครั้งอิวก็คิดว่า
Ew has cried so many different times in this series that I'm convinced nobody else could play him other than Earth. They literally employed the best crier in the world, no? For this role.
พ่อกับแม่ก็เป็นคนเหมือนกัน
It hurts every time.
มีสิทธิ์ตัดสินใจอะไรพลาดทำให้จากกันด้วยความรู้สึกแย่ๆเลยนะรู้ไหมครับคนเก่งยังไม่อุ่นใจบ้างเหรอ ถึงจะไม่มีมาอยู่แล้ว แต่ก็ยังมีป๊าอยู่นะ พรุ่งนี้ไปคุยกับป๊าด้วยกันนะ ไหมครับ
I love cake so much, man. I can't even express how much I love cake. He's such a good person.
งั้นเดี๋ยวให้เอลคุยกับป๊าต่อนะ
งั้นวันนี้พวกผมขอลาเลยนะครับป้า
Please stay.
สวัสดีค่ะป๊า เดี๋ยวเจ๊กับเฮียไปรอที่รถนะ
งั้นอิวคุยเสร็จอิวตามออกไปข้างนอกนะ
ครับเฮีย
I'm gonna go wait in the car with them. I love you.
เค้กรอข้างนอกนะครับ
Cake best boyfriend.
เดี๋ยวอิวต้องไปแล้วอ่ะป๋าเฮียกับเจรออยู่อิวไปแล้วนะสวัสดีครับ
อิวขอป้ากอดสักครั้งได้ไหม โตขึ้นเยอะเลยอะหนักมาก
I'm sorry, I've said like nothing for like the last half an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm struggling. I'm fighting my demons right now.
โอ้ยโตขึ้นจะพูดแบบนี้ไหมเนี่ยหืม
มาบริษัทพี่ถูกได้ไงเนี่ย
มีเรื่องอยากคุยอะครับ
ความเป็นไปได้ที่คุณจะส่ง
I keep forgetting about those two.
สำหรับเค้กอิวคือ1 เดียวใน 100%และเป็น1%เดียวที่เค้กจะรักนะ
God, man. I feel like I've been through. Just wait. I feel like I've been through like 5 years in the last hour. I look like trash. Awesome. Let's keep going. You have to applaud the man's determination. It's been like 4 years, 5 years. I guess they're happy together. I am proud of Hom for holding out until he was an adult. It was very weird when he was like 16. I was not comfy at all. I'm very proud of her for waiting until it was more appropriate.
Cake ตื่นได้แล้วนะมาตั้งแต่วันที่มาไม่อยู่จนถึงวันนี้อ่ะก็ปีกว่าแล้วนะทุกอย่างอ่ะก็ยังเหมือนเดิมเลยมาปีนี้อ่ะอิ๋วจะเรียนจบแล้วส่วนเค้กนะก็กำลังจะขึ้นปี 4เผลอแป๊บเดียวนะอิ๋วอ่ะกำลังจะต้องกลายเป็นผู้ใหญ่เต็มตัวแล้วอ่ะ
แย้มไปเยอะ
แกไปเยอะ
กินไหม
กินหมดอะ
That means they've already had their 1-year anniversary, no?
จริง
Cute
อิ๋วมีอะไรอยากเล่าให้มาฟังเยอะแยะเลยนะ ส่วนเจ้กับเฮียนะมาไม่ต้องห่วงเลย งานหนักบ้างแต่ก็ยังไหวอ่ะ มีคนดูแลทั้งคู่เลยนะ
เนี่ยตัวใหญ่สุด
โอ้โห
One big happy family.
อยได้เจอกันบ่อยๆเหมือนตอนเด็กๆนะม้าแต่พวกเราก็ยังกินข้าวด้วยกันทุกอาทิตย์เหมือนเดิมนะ กินข้าวที่บ้านของเราเนี่ยแหละอ้อมีอย่างหนึ่งที่เปลี่ยนไปม้าเดี๋ยวนี้พวกเราติดต่อกับป้าบ่อยขึ้นมากเลยนะ
ป้าโทรมาเจ้
เฮียป้าโทรมา เพราะงั้นน่ะ ไม่มีอะไรที่หมาม้าต้องเป็นห่วงเลย พวกเราใช้ชีวิตกันอย่างดีมาก อย่างที่เคยสัญญาไว้เลยมะหมาม้าคอยดูพวกเราจากบนฟ้าด้วยนะครับ คิดถึงม้าที่สุดในโลกเลย
I love all of these people, I'm not gonna lie to you right now.
เค้ก
I love them all.
เค้กเคยอ่าน
From
บ
the
ทความ
intro,
เรื่อง
no? This is from
ควา
the
มเป็นไปได้
intro.
ที่คุณจะสมหวังในรักครั้งแรกไหม
The little animated characters.
ยิ้วเคยอ่านด้วยนะ เคยอ่านตอนมัธยมอะจำรายละเอียดไม่ค่อยได้แล้วแหละ แต่เขาบอกว่าความเป็นไปได้ที่คุณจะสมหวังในรักครั้งแรก
12%.
มีแค่ 12%นะดิ
ทำไมมันน้อยจังอะ
ยิ้วคิดว่าน้อยเหมือนกัน น้อยจนหน้าหงุดหงิดแหละ แต่มันก็น่าเชื่อเปล่าอะเค้ก
Cake's looking gorgeous
เขามี
right now,
คนบ
no?
อกว่ารักแรกมันไม่สมหวัง
ก็เคยได้ยินบ่อยๆนะ
แต่เค้กเป็นรักแรกของยิ้วนะ
ครับ งั้นยูก็เป็น1 ใน 12%ที่นั่งหงุดหงิดแน่ดิ
เพราะอะไรรู้ไหม
เพราะอะไร
เพราะความเป็นไปได้ที่คุณจะสมหวังในรักครั้งแรก ครั้งเดียวและครั้งสุดท้าย มันไม่ใช่แค่ 12%นะสิอืม
ขออะไรอย่างหนึ่งได้ไหม
ฮะ
ขออะไรอย่างหนึ่งได้ปะ
ไม่ว้ายเค้ก
Cute.
เค้กจักรจี้อ่ะ
อยากปัดให้แก้มช้ำเลย
Mm. Mm.
ยิ้วรักเค้กนะ
Mm.
เจ๊ก็รักยูนะ
Mm.
รักมากด้วย แต่มีอย่างหนึ่งที่ยูไม่รู้นะ
Everything I wanted for them.
สำหรับเค้กยูคือ1 เดียวใน 100%และเป็น1%เดียวที่เค้กจะรักนะ
เข้าบ้านเรา
ไม่ต้องเลยเขินแล้วชอบเปลี่ยนเรื่องอ่ะ
เปล่าสักหน่อยก็อยากเข้าบ้าน
งั้นเข้าบ้านก็ได้ แต่ก่อนอื่นกอดยูต่ออีกสักนาที
I knew it was from the intro. I knew it. I recognized it. Good series. I'm good, I'm just really overwhelmed.
เมื่อนานมาแล้ว ผมเคยอ่านบทความหนึ่ง
Trailer.
ในนิตยสารของเจ๊หอมโดยบังเอิญ เนื้อหามันเกี่ยวกับความเป็นไปได้ที่คุณจะสมหวังในรักครั้งแรก พวกรายละเอียดอะเหรอ ผมลืมไปหมดแล้วแหละ
Okay, we don't need
แต่
to
ที่
watch
จำได้
this.
แม่นก็คือ เลข 12%
Crazy. It feels like so long ago now. What a roller coaster. Alright, quick thoughts about the episode, and then I'll do the review. It's a really rough episode for me, I'm not gonna lie. I thought if Power was gonna cry, we were gonna see it like here in episode 13. So when we got to the end and she was like, I already spoke to Pal, and then we don't see anything else, I was just like, regarding that, I was like, okay, I'm good. I missed the bit where he cries. And then we had all of this. And we had all of this. Oh, it was rough, man. It was really rough. This scene on the bed was really, really sweet. The way that they were cuddling and Cake was just quietly listening. And he called Ew a sweet boy, which is a variation of the good boy. I liked it a lot. I'm not mad at the dad or anything. I do understand it. Like, he wasn't trying to hurt anyone or anything like that. Like, smoking is an addiction. Growing up, I did have a family member in our house that smoked until I was 11. And I remember, like, everything Ew was saying about asking him to stop and stuff like that. I remember doing that too. And I was very lucky that the person did stop when I was about 10 or 11 years old, and they're perfectly fine and stuff like that. So I'm not mad at him or anything. And I'm also, I understand Ew's side of it as well, feeling kind of conflicted about the anger that he's feeling and stuff like that. So all of this, I kind of understood a lot of it from everyone's perspective for sure. And I do think that Pow and Cake were right in, you know, the fact that Ew couldn't hold on to this hatred and grudge. I don't know if we needed to go as far as, you know, the massive hugging reunion and offering to send money to him every month and things like that. I didn't know if we needed to go that far, but I don't hate it. You know, I'm not too fussed either way. I guess it's nice they kind of tied it up so that you're not left wondering what their relationship's going to be like with the dad going forward. Oh, this was rough. This was hard to watch, no? Ooh. I mean, it definitely helps that a lot of the people in this cast are really good actors, and their crying is very believable and realistic and heart-wrenching. I knew going into it I was going to struggle with some of the crying scenes, and I ended up kind of getting the rug pulled out from under me with Santa's crying as well. I already knew I'd struggle with like Kuhart and stuff like that, and Prem. So all of that was quite difficult to deal with anyway, because they're such good actors, but the fact that the characters are so lovable, like, I love all of these people. It really is like a Stardew Valley kind of show. It's so comforting and homely. Like, just scroll through the thumbnail and look at the colour scheme, the kind of warm tones, the soft music. Like, it's beautiful. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful show. So it's really hard to go through and watch all of this when you're so attached to the characters. But then this last part was beautiful, and they're all having dinner together every week, and they're happy, and they've been together for over a year. Oh yeah, Peek and Hom. That happened. It's fine. I'm way more on board with it than I was in the first half of the show. My only thing I didn't like about them was the fact that the ages were really I'm getting distracted by it's been an emotional day. The only thing that I didn't like about them was the age difference at the young age they were at was a little bit I wasn't on board with it. So them getting together at this age when he's like 20 and she's 24 or something, that's fine. No problem with that whatsoever. Age doesn't matter when you get to a certain age, but when you're young, it does definitely matter. So the first half of the show wasn't on board. All of this, like, they're not like my favourite couple. I'm not swooning over them or anything, but I like them. They're fine. You know, I got no qualms about them getting together at the age that they're at. Alright, I'm gonna do my review and then I will be back, and hopefully I'll be less emotional then so I can talk about it more. Am I wrong though? I don't think I am. I'm back. I made it. It took me fucking ages. The only thing I'm debating is my favourite character list. I was quite strict with myself. And I just want to make sure I'm happy with it. Here is the review. Ba, 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 ba. It got shiny lines. It got shiny lines. I can't. I'm in shock, honestly. You know, something has to be absolutely blows me away. I will think about it for probably the rest of my life kind of show in order to get the shiny lines. I mean, even there's series that I've absolutely loved so much, like The Eclipse, vice versa. I love them so much, and they have a very special place in my heart. And even they don't have shiny lines, because 3 stars means I'm head over heels in love with it. So shiny lines really is something special, and I don't like to give it out very often. But I can't. This show was amazing. It was actually amazing for me. It really resonated with me. So shiny lines, it joins one of the few. So I have now watched in total. So this marks the 18th BL I have completed. Between Us is still in progress, so I'm not counting that. But out of ones that I've finished watching, this is the 18th. And out of those, this is the 4th one to get shiny lines. It's up there with Tale of 1,000 Stars, Until We Meet Again, and Not Me. They are the only other ones that have gotten the shiny lines. And bear in mind, my standards have gotten really high because of the good shows that I've watched. So the last one to get shiny lines was Not Me, and I finished that quite a while ago now, a good couple months ago now. I've watched 8 or 9 BLs after that have, I mean, I think 5 of them have gotten 3 stars after Not Me, but none of them have gotten shiny lines. So I've been really strict with myself about what gets it, but this has to. I mean, my god, it has to. Did I cry? So much. So much. I cried in episode 7. Did I cry in episode 7 with the bridge scene? I feel like I did. Yeah, yeah, I did. I cried in episode 7. I bawled my eyes out in episode 8. It's been a long time since I cried as hard as I cried at the end of episode 8. I was literally full out sobbing on my desk with my head on the desk, like loudly, to the point where I thought someone was going to come upstairs and check on me. I was an absolute wreck. And then these last few episodes just, man. And then I've had happy tears too, with like the end of episode 12, the end of the show as well. I just get overwhelmed by the happy stuff too. If you haven't noticed by now, I don't deal with emotions very well. I tend to avoid my emotions. I don't deal with them very well, so most emotions will overwhelm me and I'll just cry. If it's too happy, I'll cry. If it's too sad, I'll cry. Favourite characters, I was very strict with myself, because originally when I was watching it, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to put everyone on the favourite character list. They're all going to be on there. But I have to be strict with it, right? It's not just about characters I like. And I was sitting there thinking, like, if I put like Hom and Peak and all that on there, did I love them as much as I loved Cake, Ew and Pal? Like, really, did I? So I really tried to be strict with myself and go, okay, out of all the characters that I loved, because I loved all of them, out of those characters, who were my absolute favourites, and I came up with 5. Cake and Siu, obviously, I love them. Main pairing almost always makes it on there, but these guys were really special and I really love them as a pairing. Get me on board the santaearth ship, because I'm there. I want to see something else with them in. I hope they get another project together, I really do. So Cake and Ew definitely made it on there. Pow. God, don't question me. Don't judge me. You should just be lucky that I didn't put him before Cake and Ew, okay? I loved him. Yes, I have actor bias. I love Prem, but he is an amazing actor as well as being gorgeous. And he killed it in this role. Pao as a character was a great older brother. He was so supportive. He had all the pep talks. He was so kind and patient and wise. I loved him. I don't want to hear no complaints. Pao, best brother. And then we had the friends. They were the friends on Oo's side, but I think kind of by the end everyone was all friends, right? But it was Kung and Fee that I really loved. And they really stood out to me from the very beginning of the show as really good friends. They started off just being great friends to Ew and really aware of his introvertedness, and just very patient and observant and kind. But then as the time went on, you know, you see Kung figures out Ew's feelings for Cake, and he's kind of he's getting pretty clued in now. And then when the time jump is about to happen and Cake has left, you see Fee come over for that sleepover, and he's just amazing with his advice there, and he really helps kind of kickstart Ew's progress into a better self. And then post time jump, they're still there, just being really good besties. I love them. They're so supportive, great friends. I think I knew I was gonna love Kung from the minute I saw like them getting on the bus and he was like supporting his friends' backpacks and stuff. It's really tiny things like that that when I pick up on them, I'm just like, I see you being a good person. I like you. Everyone else I loved, but they don't make the favorite character list. But I do love them. I love them all. The things I struggled with. I want to put it out there that the two things that are on this list are mostly fucking around, okay? I'm mostly memeing because I had nothing to put on there. It was blank for so long, guys. I had nothing, because even the stuff that I normally struggle with, I'm really glad at the way it was handled, and we will get into that. So I didn't want to put it on there because I don't feel like I struggled with like the time jump and stuff as much as I normally would do. So I was like, I was sitting there thinking, like, what did I really, really struggle with? And you know what? I cried a lot. That I struggled with. I struggled with my emotions, and Pao went off camera. I'm mostly fucking around. Come on, but really, that's the only gripes. We need more Pao. We need less tears. I really struggled to find things I struggled with. Is such a beautiful show, and even the stuff that I did find difficult to watch, I didn't feel comfortable putting them on this list because it makes it seem like I wish that they hadn't been included, and I'm really glad. I don't think I would change a thing about it. Well, maybe maybe I would change the mum dying and Prem crying or Prem's character crying, but other than that the list is basically empty, and it's very rare for me to struggle to fill that in, so kudos to them, honestly. The picture's from MDL, and it's a pre-time jump picture, which is why I didn't know about their hair changing or anything like that. I've got it muted on Twitter, so I wouldn't have seen any pictures or anything. And the only picture that I looked at was the MDL one, and they're both brunette, so that's why I got caught off guard by the hair. I started it just over 3 weeks ago on the 21st of November, and today is the 13th of December. And then the summary is from MDL. I like it. It's good. What I liked about it, I'm going to try and go through these quickly because otherwise we will be here until Christmas. And if I've forgotten something, because I didn't go through the videos or anything, so I'm literally just going off the top of my head with what I could think about. So if there's any scenes that you're like, wow, I'm surprised you didn't put that down, just assume I forgot, okay? Because it's midnight on a work day, on a work night, like I'm working tomorrow and I've been working today. I'm emotionally drained after these 2 episodes. And there's been a lot of episodes to think about, so I probably forgot some stuff. I loved their friendship and the dynamic that they had even before they got together. Their like bestie relationship was amazing though. I'm glad they didn't get together or do any of the romantic stuff when they were like this age. I like that we get to see them just be platonic besties, and I like that they're this close as platonic besties. I think that's amazing. They held hands, they cuddled, they snuggled up to each other at night. They were just so, they had that kind of skinship friendship, and I love that. I loved their dynamics so much. I was so on board. They were endearing instantly. I loved the music, I loved the colour scheme, and I loved the nostalgia. So I've mentioned a few times all of the yellows and browns. It's a very warm feeling. The music from Boy Som Pop with the OST, but also like the instrumental stuff in the middle. I loved all of the music. There's a few times where there's some really happy music and I'm just like, yeah. And the nostalgia as well, so especially pre-Time Jump. I was born in 1990, so I'm a 90s kid, and I grew up with a lot of the stuff that, like, I was a teenager when they were a teenager, basically. So the nostalgia was crazy. Everything from like the first phone and the MSN with the box monitor, the CRT monitor. After the Time Jump, when Cake was about to come home and they were talking on Skype, because that was like the new MSN at the time, very briefly. You see like all the toys that they have were like blowing bubbles and yo-yos, stuff like that. Like everything about it just made me think about my childhood. I don't know, it really kind of took me back. I really felt that kind of homely feeling to it, you know? The nostalgia was great. I was like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And it also kind of helped me get in tune with their emotions too, because when they were saying or acting a certain way, I was like, yeah, I remember being like that at that age. I mean, what, it was 2007, 2008 time, so I would have been 17, 18, so I would have been just a few years older than them. So I found it all really relatable. It was really sweet. I liked the cuddles in bed and Cake holding out his arms for a hug. Come on, it's the most adorable thing in the world. They did it when they were kids. You would just see him like hold out his arms when he wanted Ew to cuddle up to him at night. Anytime Ew was upset or couldn't sleep or anything, the arms came out. It was so sweet, no? He would just hold out his arms and and they would just snuggle up together in bed. It was great. I swear half the show was filmed in bed. It was beautiful. I loved it. So going into some of the more specific scenes, there was a scene that I watched and I remember thinking at the time, I have to remember to put that in the review because I loved it so much. It made my heart happy, and I think it's in episode 9. I've put flashback to Cake and Ew celebrating New Year's. This scene made me so happy, the way they celebrated together.
Happy New Year นะเค้ก
I love it. It's so great though. They're so happy. And the way they're like high-fiving each other and everything. Oh my goodness. I was like, I remember watching that and I was like, I have to put that on the review because it made me so happy. That is one specific scene I loved, and any time like that where they're just really happy. Oh, there's one I forgot to put on here. I'll put it on afterwards. When they were by the canal and Cake was teaching Ew to skip stones, and Ew managed to do it successfully, and he like jumped up and down excitedly. That. Any kind of cute, excited moments like that, I loved them. Pow pep talks and any Pow scene. I loved him. I talked about it in the favourite characters portion, so I won't go into it again, but I loved him. Anytime he was on screen was a blessing. Plus he gave good advice. Amazingly supportive friends and family. I loved all the friends, I loved all the family, they were all great. Even the love interests weren't that awful, like Tao and I forget his name again. The new one at the end who was trying to help Il cook in the kitchen, they were perfectly nice too. Like, all of the friends were perfectly nice, right? I really liked all of them. Everyone was so wholesome. The only one that wasn't wholesome was Rin. And she was a young teenage girl, so you can't even be that mad at her. Like, everyone just living their life, you know? It was, everyone's wonderful. We got a good boy. We got a good boy. I love the good boy line. You know I love me a good boy. I don't remember if we did get one earlier than that as well. I'm getting a bit confused with Between Us, because Between Us just hit us with a couple of them recently as well. It was 13, right? Because it was when he came back and was unpacking the suitcase and got hugged from behind, and that was before the funeral. I think it was near the end of episode 13. We got a good boy, and I got really emotional immediately. I don't know. Hair upgrades and post time jump, Cake and Ew. The hair. They episode 10, was it? Was it episode 10? Yeah, episode 10. That reunion scene, by the way, was everything. That should go on here too. But seeing how they look now and how grown up they are and how gorgeous they are, and the hair upgrade and the everything upgrade and their personalities, seeing that change as well, post time jump, Cake and Ew were amazing. No, I've never been so glad for a time jump in my life. Cake always stopped arguing whenever Ew starts crying. After Cake fought with Sand, God, that feels like a long time ago now, and they had their first proper argument in the bedroom, and Ew starts crying, and Cake just immediately stops arguing, and he's like, I'm sorry, and tries to hug him. Oh, man. And it wasn't a one-off thing. We saw it like twice more, right? We saw it when they argued both times in episode 11. I'm really struggling with the episodes. In episode 11, we saw them argue outside the play and everything. And as soon as Ew started crying, and bear in mind, in that fight, Cake was furious, he was jealous, he was left out, he was being he was saying some stuff, no? He was really unhappy, but as soon as Ew started crying, he just stopped. And he tried to brush the tears away, he tried to hug him, and after Ew walked off, it cuts to him sitting outside, and he's not upset about what Ew, like, said, or about the way he's been treated and what he was originally trying to argue about. He didn't care about any of that. The reason why he was so upset sitting outside was because he made Ew cry, and that Ew said he didn't want to see him anymore or see his face at the moment. And he was just so upset he made Ew cry. That was like the worst thing in the world to him. And then at the very end of episode 11, the same thing happens, right? They start arguing, or it might be the beginning of episode 12, I don't remember. They're arguing again, and as soon as Ew starts crying again, he does the same thing. He just, I think he even starts crying himself, and he just tries to hug him and say he's sorry. I love that so much. It's a trait that I think is very hard to get in a person. When you're really angry at someone and you're arguing with them, to just drop everything, and the argument isn't important anymore, being right isn't important anymore. The fact that you made them cry, that's the only thing that matters in the world, and you want to make that stop. It was beautiful. I love them, man. I love them so much. Episode 12 was a blessing. Not only do they turn around this horrific argument in the best possible way, and they become official, and it's nothing but fluff, fluff, happy, fluff, fluff. The end of episode 12 is the most romantic thing I've ever watched in my life, and I've watched Until We Meet Again, where people are destined to be together across lifetimes. This was so romantic. It was beautiful. It was so well said. And they kiss real good too. I don't know. Possessive boyfriend Cake was the best thing in the world, no? Once they started dating, the way he was with when the friends came over to study, and then the next day with the cooking in the kitchen, Chet telling him to change his pants because he had people coming over and he didn't want them looking at his legs. And again, that reminds me of Santa in real life. No, you always see him like trying to cover up Kuha. It's really cute. Beautiful. I love possessive Cake. He's so funny. The kitchen scene where it just cuts to him staring at them like, that's my boyfriend. And you're just like, okay, there are knives in this kitchen. Let's all calm down. He's so funny, no? All cute, fluffy moments from episode 12 to 14, because I knew that I was going to forget some because there were just so many. But the two that I really remembered were holding hands when they were at university. You see them like walking into university together. So cute. The sniff kisses, so cute. There's all the kisses here, so cute. I loved all the cute fluffy moments that we did get. We got a lot in episode 12. We got a little bit at the beginning of 13, and then we got a little bit at the end of 14. All of my difficult to deal with tropes were handled really well, e.g. the time jump made sense, the love interests weren't unbearable or drawn out, etc. Let's talk about it. You guys know I hate time jumps where the couple spends time apart, and one of the reasons for this is, other than it sucks and it's painful, and this was still painful, it's almost always done in the same way, and it's used as a way to create conflict between the couple where one of them misunderstands the other, or they're arguing, or they split up for some reason, and then they go and they spend years apart, and then they come back years later and they still have those same feelings and they're reunited, right? It's not realistic. It's not fun to watch. And to me, it just doesn't make sense. It's drama on a massive scale, and I feel like if that happened to me in real life, that would be irreparable damage to the relationship. These are some of the reasons why I hate time jumps, right? It doesn't feel like a relationship would still be able to work after that amount of time. Whereas with this, the time jump was handled so well. So firstly, they didn't just do a 4 years later kind of thing. They actually spent an episode showing some of the time passing and how you get to, and well, you don't see too much of Cake, but you do get like photos of him and stuff, and you can see him changing. But you spend the episode seeing Oo's progress, right? And how he starts to get into what he's like when Cake returns. So they didn't just do a 4 years later thing and expect us to be okay with it. They spent time with it, and I found that really helpful. The time jump wasn't used to just create drama. There was a reason for it. And actually, I think, looking back at it now, the idea of them getting together at this age, I'm glad they waited until after the time jump. I feel like it's so much better here now. It's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about it. And the other thing that makes a difference is that they didn't argue and then one went away abroad, misunderstanding the feelings of the other, thinking, like, Cake didn't leave thinking that Ew hated him and never wanted to see him again, and then they spent 4 years not talking, right? They parted on really good terms, neither of them wanted to go, and then they spent all the time, all 4 years basically, emailing back and forth and talking to each other. And by the end of it, they were talking on Skype, so they probably video called each other too, right? So all of it was handled so much better. It wasn't just used to create conflict and drama. They weren't arguing or non-communicative during those years. And there was a reason for the time jump, and it made it so much more beautiful. I found it one of the easiest, and when I say easiest to deal with, I don't mean like la-di-da, I'm so happy. It was still painful to watch. Did I cry? I feel like I did, yeah? Oh yeah, I definitely cried, yeah, never mind. It was still very difficult to watch, and it will be something that I struggle with, and I think it's meant to be something people struggle with. Like, a lot of people cried in 7 and 8, right? In the beginning of episode 9. So it's not just me struggling to deal with it. It was an emotional time, and it's meant to be difficult to watch. So I think it was handled really well. And the same thing with the love triangles. You can't even really call them that, right? I mean, Rin happened when they were so young. They weren't gonna, Ew and Cake weren't gonna get together there anyway. And it was done for a really good reason. It helped Ew realize his romantic feelings. It helped kind of create a little bit of a rift between them, where Cake needed to realize that, you know, he wasn't being as good of a friend to Ew as he potentially should be. It kind of pushed Ew into a new friendship with Sand and all of that going down. Like, there were reasons for it, right? And with all of the stuff later on with Tao and other friendo, I swear there were like 3 different people that wanted to date you in there. They were all actually quite likable characters, so I didn't really mind it. I didn't hate any of them. They were just shooting their shot, bless them. And they were all sweet as well. And they were all fine. It wasn't dragged out. They all just kind of backed off in the end and didn't interfere, so it was all fine. There were definitely tropes in this that I'd normally really hate, and in this they were fine. They were handled so well. It's given me hope that maybe if BLs in the future continue to handle these tropes well, there are going to be times when I don't get really scared whenever I think there's a time jump coming up, you know? So I really liked it. I'm really glad they handled it well and showed me that a time jump can be used in a really good way. It probably also helped that I knew it, right? Before I came into it, the only thing I knew about this was that there was a time jump. Having the preparation probably helped. So maybe I should just check with my friends first before I start a show, like, hey, can you look and see if this is a time jump? Because that probably helped too. And lastly, everything was nicely resolved, no loose ends. They got the happy ending I wanted for them since the beginning. I was looking forward to this moment by the canal in the last episode. The last part of the last episode was the perfect ending for them. I wanted that for them since episode 1. I've been rooting for them. It didn't feel like there were loose ends or any kind of things that still needed chasing up. I didn't have any questions. It was just so beautifully tied up, no? This was beautiful. This was perfection. I would not change anything. I love Pal. Sorry, that just slipped out. I do though. I love him. Amazing show. Shiny lines, 3 stars. And very quickly, I know I've been talking for a while, but when I was doing my review for Ghost House, there was something I was going to show you guys, and I forgot, and I'll show you guys now, which is this screen right here. Something I added to the beginning of the review book to help me keep track of what ratings everything got, so that I don't have to scroll through each individual page. And also helps me kind of keep track of how many BLs I've watched so far, stuff like that. It's got in watch order, so like starting with Cutie Pie, ending with My Only 12%. It's just got the rating that I gave it. And then at the bottom I keep a tally so I can keep track of how many things got 3 stars, how many things got shiny lines. So you can see I've had 4 shows now that have gotten shiny lines. I've had 7 that have gotten 3 stars, which means I loved them. I've had 1 show that's gotten 2.5. I've had 5 shows that have gotten 2 stars, which means I liked it a lot. I've had a show that got 1.5. Nothing has gotten 1 star yet. Nothing has been that bad. I feel like if anything is that bad, I probably didn't finish it. And same with 0.5 or 0. So as you can see, I've basically liked everything that I've finished watching. And I've loved over half of them. Which, considering before I started watching Cutie Pie, I thought BL wouldn't be for me. I thought dramas wouldn't be for me. It's really sweet to see. It's really nice to see. So yeah, we added My Only 12% on there with the shiny lines. Thank you so much for watching these with me. Thank you to everyone who suggested that I watch it and helped keep pushing me through when I was struggling with it. I'm very grateful to you, and this is such an amazing show. I'm so glad I watched it. Oh, last couple episodes were rough though. I'm so emotional right now. Oh my goodness. That is it for now. Next series I'm gonna watch is gonna be whatever wins the Twitter poll, which ends. Well, at the moment I think it ends in 1 day, but by the time this is up, it's either going to be closed or just about to close. But there is a Twitter poll where you can vote what I'm going to watch the first episode for one of my Christmas videos I'm doing, and then because I have a kind of addiction to completing things, I will most likely end up watching that series. So that will be what I'm watching next, whatever wins that poll. Alright, thanks, bye!